Well, I contend that if you have your very quick bowlers in the power play, they can leak runs. I mean, there's only 2 allowed outside the circle, and if you snick it, it'll obviously go for 4. Now, Michael Klein could be his last home game today. He's a great servant for Gloucestershire, and he's done so well in the 6 years he's been with. And if they don't win, go forward to the quarterfinals, it'll be his last home game. A very sad occasion for Michael Klein. He's devoted a lot of his summers, the Australian summers, to Gloucestershire, and he'll be leading his team out. Let's go for the Gloucestershire team. Michael Klein, our captain, Miles Hammond, Ian Cobain, AJ Ty, David Payne and Chris Liddell. Somerset side?
Somerset are unchanged. Tom Banton and Babar Azam to open, the 2 top-scoring batsmen in this season's Vitality Blast. Banton just behind Babar Azam. James Hildreth at number 3. Tom Abel, the captain, in Lewis Gregory's absence. He'll come in at 4. Eddie Byram, who can be explosive in this variety of cricket. Then young Tom Lammonby, only 19 years old, left-handed all-rounder from Exeter. Roloff van der Merwe, a very, very familiar figure in these cider derbies over the years, with his slow left arm and aggressive batting. Craig Overton, big fast bowler. Tim Grunewald, well, he can take pace off a bit in the sort of Gloucestershire mould. And then Jerome Taylor, West Indian pace, and finally Max Waller with his leg breaks. Actually, he bowls more flippers and googlies than he does leg breaks, but he'll probably bowl the first over.
Yeah, I think the Gloucestershire will probably not relish facing Max Waller, because he's taken a lot of wickets, and he's, as you say, he's got a lot of variety. There's a guard of honour is waving their flags around down there. It's about what are we, about 2 minutes away from the start here. Let me remind you about the toss. Somerset won the toss and they put Gloucestershire in. Was that a surprise, you think?
It was a bit of a surprise, because Somerset have had a lot of success in this Vitality Blast campaign, batting first and putting big runs on the board. But it's probably to do with the pitch, and maybe a feeling that, with a little bit of dew later on in the evening, the ball may come rather more nicely onto the bat, and stroke making may be easier in the second part of the game than in the first. But if it plays as well as it looks, then I don't think the toss is going to be hugely significant. I think it's going to be pretty similar for both sides.
Well, the Gloucestershire openers, Michael Klinger and Miles Hammond, walk to the middle. Somerset have had a little huddle. I don't know what they talk about in the huddle. They could have had a huddle in the changing room. Off go these speakers where the flames were thrown from. And, well, I think Gloucestershire like to chase, I think Somerset perhaps caught a little bit off guard. Gloucestershire like to know what they got to do in the second innings, which is important. Right, well, it's going to be Miles Hammond probably facing the first ball, and it looks like, you're absolutely right, it is going to be Max Waller.
Well, this is the Somerset recipe. I can almost predict who's going to bowl each of the first 4 overs, with Max Waller bowling the first, then Jerome Taylor will come into the attack, then probably Craig Overton, and then either Roloff van der Merwe or Tim Grunewald. They do like to mix it up, Somerset.
They've got the speakers still on the pitch at the moment. They just players held up for a little bit while they remove those flame-throwing speakers, or whatever they're called. Full house here. It's lovely to see. There's literally not a seat to be seen. The flats on the Ashley Down Road end. Some of them are having a little cocktail party, glass of wine, and well, every flat I can can see as people watching the cricket. It's a wonderful sight. And there's a full house here at the county ground. You don't get many of those in the county championship, certainly, but you're doing the T20 and it's only for the Cider Derby.
Well, we get full houses for virtually every home T20 game.
Here's Waller, bowls to Hammond, and Hammond gets a run straight away as he just plays it calmly to mid-wicket. Now, look at the field. They've got two men out on the leg side for Miles Hammond, the left-hander. Now, Michael Klinger, they've got someone straight and someone at cow corner, which is an unusual position, really. Now, Michael Klinger will farm things. He's very good at farming.
He's
the
not
bowl.
had a great campaign so far,
he hasn't. I think he got his record score last week. He got a 30-something.
40, I think.
40. He's facing now. Waller bowls to him. Oh, and that's a poor ball and a full toss, actually, and it goes out to Overton, I think, fielding at mid-on as just a single, 2 without loss.
Yeah, he's just averaging...
He's poor.
16 and a half.
Yeah, he hasn't.
At 99 strike rate, which is most un-Klinger-esque.
However, he's going to get a century today, you mark my words. As he bowls, and that's a dot ball. They really have packed the offside field, Somerset. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the offside, and 2 behind square on the leg side, and a mid-on and a deep mid-off. And that's on the bounce. It's fielded by Waller. I mean, Gloucestershire don't take too much notice of the power play. I don't think they're going to worry too much about it. It's losing wickets that matters for them. And that's gone out. That's a great bit of fielding, actually.
Tom Aadil, that is.
Yeah, super bit of fielding by Tom Aadil. Just for single, 3 without loss. And Klinger's going to face again. Now, Klinger needs a big score here. He's been such a lovely servant for Gloucestershire.
Well, you'll want to sign off with a good performance, won't you?
You do, yeah. Just 100 will do for him. And that gets another single up towards mid-on. Overton comes to the field, and that's the end of the first over. 4 without loss.
Yeah, good over again from Max Waller. I'm always surprised that the opposition don't go harder at Max Waller in his first over. They know that he's going to bowl the first over, so they can mentally prepare themselves. And but they're almost always content just to knock the ball around, as Hammond and Klinger have done in that over, pick up a few singles, and it's a bit of a bonus over for Somerset, because he certainly won't be going at 4 and over later on in the piece.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, it's a bit of a surprise. They've got to farm him a bit. If they take him on and they're out, well, it's a disaster. 4 without loss at the end of the first over. Jerome Taylor kind of come to bowl. Now he's a bit quicker.
He is, yep. He's very experienced, Jerome Taylor, 37 years old now.
Got a slip in for him.
50-odd test matches for West Indies. James Hildreth in at slip. We've got short fine leg, backward point, extra cover. Well, no, it's cover, extra cover, and mid-off. So we've got 4 saving 1 on the offside. A mid-on, and ball around as Jerome Taylor is in and bowls. No, he isn't in and bowling. He is in, but he doesn't bowl. And there is the unmistakable figure of Ian Blackwell, signalling dead ball.
Well, he didn't even see. He just ran straight through.
He presents quite an obstacle behind the stumps, doesn't he, Ian Blackwell? The bowler has to sort of veer around. Mustn't be unkind. Good old Blackie. Here comes Jerome Taylor then, see if he does actually deliver the ball this time. He's in and bowls and beats Klinger outside the off stump. That was a good delivery. And seemed to go through, well, didn't go through waist high,
no,
sort of knee high to Tom Banton.
Yeah, it is a slow pitch, Bristol. I mean, they can't do much about it. It's just the clay, apparently. It's a Sussex clay they import. You speak to Dave Bryant, the former groundsman, that's his excuse.
We've used a lot of Mendit Marl on the ground at Taunton. Here's Taylor in and bowls to Klinger on the leg stump, and that will be given as a wide. So another run goes on the total, 5 without loss. We're in the second over. Somerset winning the toss and asking Gloucester to have a bat. The ground is full.
Absolutely.
The atmosphere is buzzing. There are hundreds of people, I think, probably in the balconies or on the balconies of the flats at the far end.
Those two below the penthouse, they're about 30 on the balcony.
Yeah, all having a lovely time. It's the most beautiful evening. Perfect evening for cricket. Here's Taylor to Klinger. He's there. He bowls outside the off stump, and that's lofted over the top of mid-off for the first boundary of the Gloucestershire innings. It was in the slot from Jerome Taylor, and Klinger, knowing that the field is up, could safely hit it high in the air over the top of mid-off, and he brings up his first boundary. 9 without loss in the second over.
Yeah, perfectly legitimate shot.
Here's Taylor. He's accelerating up to the crease and bowling to Klinger, who gets a bottom edge and will pick up 4 runs. That was a false shot. I think he was beaten for pace as much as anything there, and ball came off the bottom edge and just ran down very fine down to the fine leg boundary.
I don't think he meant it to go there.
No, he didn't. He was looking for the square cut.
Well, he got away with it, really. I mean, it might have been quite in his stumps.
13 without loss. We're in the second over, halfway through it. Expensive from Jerome Taylor. He tries again. He's in now and bowls. This is on leg stump, and that's going to go for 4 as well. And that was a dreadful ball from Jerome Taylor with your fine leg up inside the fielding circle. You cannot afford to stray down the leg side, which was precisely what he did, and that takes the score on to 17 without loss. It's been a very expensive over, 13 off it so far.
Anything down leg stump, easily put away, isn't it? Easy. Klinger wouldn't miss that.
He's Somerset's leading wicket taker, Jerome Taylor, but he has been expensive. He's been going at almost 10 runs and over, 9.46. He's bowling now to Klinger. He's in there, bowls, and this takes Klinger on the pad. It's too high and not even an appeal. But better delivery from Jerome Taylor. A little bit of bounce there as well.
He did get some bounce. I just think they might have to take the slip away. Yes, they have done.
Yeah.
Slip goes into.
I always think it's a fielding position that owes more to hope than expectation in this form of the game. Particularly if this is as good a pitch as it looks, and we haven't seen much sign of movement so far. Here's Taylor then to Klinger. He's there, he bowls on leg stump, takes him on the pad, they go for a quick single, there'll be a shy at the stumps. Oh, and if that had hit, that would have been very close indeed.
Very close, yeah.
Michael Klinger rather, taking a bit of a risk there, but it comes off. They take the single, and 18 are on the board after 2 overs, 4 from the Max Waller over, and 14, including a wide from Jerome Taylor.
Well, you just can't bowl a bad over, really, in the cloud play like that. And it's going to be a change, I told you,
it's Craig Overton.
Yeah, Craig Overton. How's his brother? Is he still injured?
No, he bowled very fast and very well in the second innings against Warwickshire, and took 3 absolutely crucial wickets in the Warwickshire second innings, which set up in the end the Somerset win.
Great win.
It was. He and Tom Abel took 7 wickets between them in the Warwickshire second innings, and put Somerset in a position by bowling Warwickshire out for 146, where they had a chaseable target.
He was Overton. They got a third man and a deep square leg. And that's touchdown by Klinger. That's another bad ball. Again, it was down the leg side. And all Klinger had to do, as any first-class batsman was able to do, just a little touch. Another 4.
This has been so typical of Somerset's bowling in this competition. They've been bailed out by their batsmen. In the last 3 games, they've batted first and got over 200 runs on each occasion, and have won in consequence.
Well, it might be the same tonight. Klinger gets a good ball and he plays it as a dot ball as well. Very important dot balls. Dot balls and ones, like gold dust, aren't they? They do play in boundaries.
They are.
Well, Overton's got to bowl a little bit straighter. That was a good ball.
It's a well-grassed outfield here.
Very well-grassed, yes.
Bristol, it looks a picture.
That's down the leg side again. On a misfield at all by Jerome Taylor. And Klinger comes back for second. He's got to hurry slightly. And, again, if the ball had hit the stumps, the umpire would have had a question to answer. But I think he scurried home just in time.
Sloppy cricket.
Yeah. Well, again, it was down the leg side. He hasn't quite got his radar absolutely spot on at the moment as Craig Overton. He's a big chap. Got a very strong offside field still, 4. And now Craig Overton's complaining that Klinger said he wasn't ready. Well, he isn't ready. It's fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. Here he comes again. As bowls, and that's just a single, ubiquitous single, and the throw comes in from the mid-wicket. Klinger goes on to 21. The score is 25 without loss.
Well, it's already a good start this for Gloucestershire. We're only in the 3rd over.
Well, Miles Hammond has been very indolent at the other end. I mean, what his favourite shot is a square cut over the cover fielders to the boundary, but they haven't got anyone. They've got a mid-wicket.
Mid-wicket, the third man.
Yeah. If the ball's up, he'll hit it over there. He comes in now. Overton bowls to him, and dead ball. It's got good ball as well. Dot ball.
That's much better than wicket to wicket, not giving the batsman any room to free his arms.
Well, really, all you should do is bowl at the stumps.
Well, I agree. I think it's unless you're going to bowl, something fancy like Yorkers a foot and a half outside the off stump.
Bowls to Hammond again. That's it on the pad, and Klinger says stay there. That's a good second half of that over from Craig Overton.
Yeah,
25 that loss. Good comeback.
Good
25.
comeback. 7 off the over.
Yeah.
25 from the first 3. Now who are we going to have? Yes, Tim Grunewald. See, I predicted exactly the order in which Somerset would use their bowlers. Whether this is a good idea, I'm not sure. If I was a bowler, I would like to be given more than just the 1 over. Bowlers need to
get a rhythm.
Get a rhythm, exactly.
Oh,
Craig Overton possibly.
Right, okay.
Or possibly Jerome Taylor, or they might bring Rolf van der Merwe. No, they probably won't bring van der Merwe in, not during the power play. They'll leave him until after the 6th over. Tim Grunewald then from this pavilion end. He's got 1, 2, 3, saving 1 on the offside and 3 on the on. As he's in and bowls to Klinger down the leg side. And he, like Jerome Taylor,
it's ironic that umpire Blackwood has to give a wide, isn't it, really?
I'll tell him you said that. Here's Grunewald in bowls to Klinger, hammers that square of the wicket, but straight to James Hildreth, who shies rather aimlessly at the stumps at the non-strikers end. Miles Hammond comfortably regained his ground, and there was nobody actually at the stumps. Fortunately, Tom Lammonby was there to back it up. That could easily have been another run given away.
It's a good shot for naught, though, from Klinger.
It was. 26 without loss, Gloucester, as Grunewald bowls to Klinger, who hits it straight down into he's out, he's run out. The bowler, I'm off. Oh, my goodness me, I thought he was gone for all money.
No, he's not. No, he's not, and he got a single.
Tim Grunewald,
to add insult to injury,
hurled the ball at the stumps and hit them, with Klinger diving for his ground. The umpire was in the perfect position, Peter Hartley, to give the decision, and obviously Klinger got back.
Well, to be honest, we weren't in a great position behind the bowler's arm, but it looked very close, very close.
I thought when it hit, well, you heard what I said. I thought he was out.
Add insult to injury, they took an overthrow.
And they've got an overthrow, so it's 20-27, and Tim Grunewald is going to go around the wicket to Miles Hammond. We've got deep backward square leg and deep straight mid-wicket for Hammond as Grunewald bowls to him. And this is pace off, and it just eludes Jerome Taylor at short third man. That was well judged by Miles Hammond. He just used the pace on the ball, which was wide outside his off stump, and just managed to get it past Jerome Taylor at short third man.
I must have say, if I was critical, I thought Jerome Taylor was a little bit tardy then.
Well, he's not the world's
not
greatest.
The best.
He's not the greatest fielder on the side. 31 without loss. Hammond on to 6. Klinger has 21. Grunewald bowls to Hammond, and that's a much better ball. They're going for a quick single, which they will get as Tom Lammonby comes sprinting in. 32 without loss. We're in the 4th over.
Good start this from Gloucestershire.
It looks a pretty good pitch, I must say.
I think probably 180, 190 possibly a good score on this.
Grunewald kicking up his heels. He's in bowls, and good ball which Klinger has to play back to the bowler, who this time doesn't throw the stumps down because Klinger had not advanced out of his ground as he had on the previous occasion.
Well, that's the ball you have to bowl, isn't it? Straight at the stumps, giving him no time to move his feet, which Klinger loves to do.
He's on 21, Michael Klinger, playing what's probably his last home game for Gloucestershire. Grunewald in and bowls, and again cramps him for room. All he can do is play that to Rolf van der Merwe in the covers just better for over. A single, much better over. 4th over of the innings, 33 without loss, 22 to Klinger and 7 to Hammond.
It is Craig Overton coming to bowl his 2nd over. Will they keep him to the death, do you think? Bowl 2 now and 2 at the end?
Quite probably. Jerome Taylor usually bowls at the death.
If he bowls like he did the first time.
The strange thing is, he's a much better bowler at the death than he is in the first part of the innings. Because he can bowl Yorkers, and he's got a good slower ball bouncer.
Klinger looks to square leg. Overton bowls to him, and he might go for 2. No, the field on the square leg boundary comes into field. Just a single to Michael Klinger. He goes on to 24, 35 without loss. That's
Tom Lammonby. You can tell him because he throws left-handed.
Yeah.
Got those elasticated arm guards on as well, like Tom Abel is fond of wearing.
Now there's a deep mid-wicket for Miles Hammond. Overton bowls to him, and that's cut, and that's a great shot. That's a lovely shot. He loves it on the offside. It was short, and Miles Hammond attacks that. Again, a bit of a sloppy bit of fielding, but he could have got a touch to it.
Oh, it was going like a rocket.
Well, it was going like a rocket, of course it was, yes. It was a difficult chance. I always think having 2 in the power play outside is a little bit of a gimme to the batting side, isn't it? Because there's so many spaces you can exploit. And now they've got a 3rd man. And that's whacked away again. That's going to be a chase for the fielder on the mid-wicket boundary. They're going to come back for 3. Yes, they come back for 3 quite easily. And that's good running from Miles Hammond and indeed Michael Klinger, who is 39 years old, but he's still very, very fit.
Combined effort that between
a tandemic bit of fielding.
Max Waller.
41 without loss. It's a good start for Gloucestershire.
And Babar Azam. First time Babar Azam's been in the game.
Looking forward to seeing him bat. And Klinger tucks that away behind square. They content themselves with just a single. Klinger. Miles Hammond was already turning for a second, but Klinger just arrived at the non-striker's end.
Poor throw from Lammonby. Reached Tom Banton on the half volley.
Gloucestershire are very good in the field. Now they've got now for Hammond they put someone at cow corner, which is a very unusual position. A 3rd man as well. No, long leg, I think. That's gone down. And again, it's a lovely shot. Bowled it short on the offside to Miles Hammond. That's where he'll put it. 4 more runs to him. 18.
Yeah, short and wide. You just can't afford to bowl there to anyone, let alone.
Well, you can't in the power play, can you? You certainly can't. The power play is a good power play. 5th over. 1 more over the power play to exploit after this. Bowls to Hammond again. And goes for a single, played out towards mid-on. The ball throw comes in, another poor throw.
Poor throw, that was Max Waller that time.
Yeah.
But again, making life very difficult for Tom Banton.
Well, Tom Banton's an interesting character because he opens the batting and keeps wicket, which is quite unusual, isn't it?
He doesn't in Championship cricket.
No.
Steve Davis keeps wicket in Championship and Banton bats at 4.
Well, we've got James Bracey keeping wicket today. Now, Gareth Broderick is the wicket keeper in the County Championship, but James Bracey is a great cricketer all round, and he'll be wearing the gloves today for Gloucestershire.
Yes, He didn't get any runs against Somerset in the 50-over match here earlier in the season, but I did see him in that innings against Hampshire on the television. He looked very good. Here's Grunewald in, bowls to Hammond, who drives into the offside, and Lammonby fields and sends in a better return this time to Banton on the full toss, which the umpires will approve of.
They don't like it bouncing in front, do they?
No, they don't like it being bounced on the old pitches.
No,
because it's roughing it up. Well, I don't think it makes a huge amount of difference to these white balls. 47 without loss. We're in the 6th over. This is lofted away over the offside.
Shot.
Nice shot from Miles Hammond. It was there in the slot. He just put his hands through the line of the ball, knowing that there's nobody out there, and as long as he cleared the infield. And that brings the Gloucester 50 up. 51 without loss they are.
Very
24 to Klinger, 23 to Hammond.
Considering the only 4s off the first over, this is a very good power play for the Shire.
47 off the last 4 and a bit overs. Expensive from Somerset. They haven't bowled very well again. Grunewald in, bowls to Hammond, full toss, which is turned into the onside and fielded by Babar Azam. End of... No, it's not the end of the over. It's just they're changing over because it's left hand and right hand, of course.
Klinger looks to be in top form, I've got to say, without condemning him. 24 to him, 24 to Hammond.
Yes, and they've gone along very, very comfortably against some wayward bowling. Somerset haven't kept a consistent line. Here's Grunewald in and bowls to Klinger, who turns that into the onside. A shy at the stumps, which had it hit would might have run out Miles Hammond. I rather doubt it. In fact, that's Lammonby with the throw, but it was nowhere near the stumps. Cleared them by some margin.
They practice throwing the stumps all day and every day. I've never seen them hit them.
Very rarely hit.
Never.
53 without loss as Grunewald bowls to Hammond. Slower ball. Better. And deceives Hammond. That's the first slower ball we've seen a Somerset bowler try. And it was a good piece of bowling, and Hammond threw the shot much too early. And a dot ball is produced. I dare say we'll see plenty of slower balls from the Gloucestershire bowlers when the time comes. It's not an art that Somerset bowlers have mastered. Grunewald in bowls to Hammond, takes pace off that one as well, and they will pick up another single as Max Waller trots across to do the fielding. So the power play is concluded. The first 6 overs. The field can go back. But Gloucestershire have got 54 runs on the board, 25 to Miles Hammond and 25 to Michael Klinger. And of the two sides, I'm sure Gloucestershire will be the happier at the end of that 6-over power play.
Well, they will be, because they've got some attacking batsmen to come. They've got no Benny Howell, of course, today, who got injured fielding in the T20 at the Oval. We had some rain, and they came back on, and he slipped and fell over and did his hamstring in. It's going to be Robin van der Merwe coming in from the Ashley Down Road end, bowling to Miles Hammond, who's on 25 apiece they've got. With 4 extras, it makes it 54 without loss. And now the field can spread. Got to have 5 fielders outside the circle. Van der Merwe bowl to Hammond and hits him on the pad. Turns a little bit, it must have done, but an appeal was turned down. Long on, long off.
He's bowled very well, has Roller van der Merwe. 11 wickets, going at just under 8 runs and over.
Well, that's a decent shot from Miles Hammond. That's very intuitive. It's going to go for 4. Now, that was a bit of, I can almost say, near brilliance.
It was a reverse sweep, which wasn't hit particularly well. You want to see Tom Banton hit a reverse sweep? It would have gone out the ground.
All right, okay.
That was a reverse sweep, a bit of a top edge, and it just managed to clear.
I gotta say, it was a bit ambitious.
Well, so I think it's a legitimate shot to play.
58, sorry. And that's another single. That makes it 59. brings Klinger down to face, who's on 25. Now, Hammond is a very, very good, if you like, the old-fashioned trade of a pinch hitter in the T20. And he will go, it's unlike him, he will probably go in about the 7th or 8th or 9th over by hitting something massively ambitious, but he knows there's other batsmen to come. Bracey will be warming up, of course. Somerset want him, apparently not going to have him at all. He's Gloucestershire's all the way. Plays his cricket for Winterbourne before he joined Gloucestershire. Bowls to Klinger, and Klinger, well, he gets away with that, I've got to say. Klinger, it's probably not going to go to the boundary. They're going to go for 3. No, they content themselves just, no, they're coming for a 3rd. That's very well run, and again the throw is a little bit wayward. 3 runs to Klinger. He was on to 28, 62 without loss.
Put a slip in, and
yeah,
the ball goes to slip, but unfortunately it just eludes James Hildreth, who was fielding there, and now he's come out. Well, probably the next one will be nicked exactly through where slip would have been.
Bowls to Hammond again. Hammond helps himself to an easy single. The bowler has to do the fielding, which happens in T20 quite a bit of the time. 63 without loss. Good start this for Gloucestershire.
It is.
I mean, they've got runs in the bank. They've got Ryan Higgins to come, Jack Taylor.
Well, they ought to be on course for best part of 200, you'd have thought.
Yeah, should do.
Which is well over par here at Bristol under normal circumstances.
Bowls to Klinger. Klinger gets turned up a little bit, but never mind, gets a run to it. End of the over, better one, 64 or 65? 64 without loss. End of the 7th over. 13 overs remaining here at Bristol.
Yes, it was a good over, slightly spoiled from the Somerset point of view by that top edge reverse sweep. Max Waller's going to come back. Hold the first over for just 4 runs.
Number 10, Max Waller.
Well, he won't drop anything short. Well, I've rarely seen
He might. He does. He bowls all sorts.
Right.
I wouldn't put a half tracker beyond him at all.
Well, if he does, there's 2 people waiting on the leg side boundary.
He's taken a lot of wickets with full tosses over the years as well.
It's difficult to hit a full toss.
He's bowling to Klinger, floats this one up, and Klinger gets it down to short fine leg where Jerome Taylor does the fielding. It's just a single. 65 without loss. We're in the 8th over. So Gloucestershire going along at better than 8 and over.
If you look to your right, you'll see a balloon, hot air balloon, probably going to land here in a minute.
Waller bowls to Hammond, who's back on his stumps, playing that into the offside, and there's going to be a shy no, there isn't a shy at the stumps from Tom Abel. Wisely, he just lobs it back to the bowler. Another run goes on the board, 66 without loss. Lots of field changes because of the left-hand, right-hand combination. Waller in and bowls to Klinger, who plays that out into the onside, and Lammonby sends in a left-handed return on the bounce to Tom Banton. So 3 balls in this over, 3 dots. Beautiful evening, shadows lengthening, not a cloud in the sky.
3 singles.
3 singles, I beg your pardon. 3 singles here.
Don't undersell yourself.
67, Gloucestershire. Waller bowls. This is down the pitch, driving, not timing it. It's going to be fielded by Lammonby. They'll just take a single. He was fortunate there.
Yeah, he didn't get hold of it, did he?
Miles Hammond, that he didn't get hold of it rather better, because if he had have done, he could easily have holed out down to Craig Overton, who's down below us. Tall man, the tallest man in this Somerset field, fielding side. Waller is in bowls to Klinger, who works that into the onside just for a single. Lammonby fields 69 without loss. So 5 balls, 5 singles. Field moves around. Overton is down at long on beneath us for Waller to the left-handed Hammond. Last ball of the 8th over. This is lofted back on the bounce to Waller, completely mistimed by Miles Hammond. That's a dot ball. That's a good over. Five singles and a dot.
Very good over.
So 2 overs for 9. Max Waller, well bowled.
Yeah.
And he was actually giving the ball a little bit of air as well, just floating it up, sort of inviting the batsman almost to come down and try and hit him hard and high. And the only time they really attempted it, Miles Hammond mishit it.
Well, the last ball I thought was going this way, but he completely mishit it. Didn't he reach the stumps at the non-striker's end? Klinger's going to be facing. It is old Robin van der Merwe bowling.
Roll off.
Roll off.
Roll off. Think of roll on, roll off ferries.
Roll off van der Merwe. Okay. I will. He bowls to Klinger, and Klinger cuts, and they think about going for a single, but he's sent back. I mean, there was never a single there. Even Hammond would have made that. Roll off van der Merwe. As van der Merwe bowls to Klinger again, and bowls, and just dabs it down. They've got to hurry. In fact, it hits Klinger, and of course you can't. It's bad sportsmanship to run when the throw hits the batsman running through, and Klinger quite rightly stops and picks the ball up and throws it back to the bowler, but they get a single nevertheless. 33 each to Klinger and Hammond, 70 without loss. Roll off van der Merwe is bowling quite tight. I mean, they have reined them in, haven't they, last 3 or 4 overs?
Yes, they have. Which off the ball is probably the way to go on this track, which is, there isn't any great pace in it. It's pretty flat, pretty slow.
It is indeed. Roll off van der Merwe bowls again. That's a good shot. That's 6 all the way. Or did it? No. That's a very good bit of fielding.
Brilliant piece of fielding by Craig Overton.
Absolutely. I mean, he stopped it going for a 6A, and he parried it up in the air, and then only one run out of it.
Yeah, and he's furious because he knew that if he hadn't let it go, he caught it. He would have been over the boundary rope, and it would have been 6. So he did absolutely the right thing.
Yeah, super bit of fielding. Only 1 run, 71 without loss. Van der Merwe bowls to Klinger. Klinger just plays it just in front of square on the offside, and another single. 72 without loss. Where's that hot air balloon gone? It seems to have either landed or it's disappeared. It was one there, I promise you. It's gone now.
I couldn't see it.
Bowls to Hammond. No, that's going to be a 4. Yeah, 1 bounce 4. He got his angles right, did Hammond, I think, on that occasion.
Yeah, picked his spot well.
It's a good shot, 76 without loss. Now, this is an interesting total because I always think, if you double it at 12 overs to get the total, the rule of thumb. Here, however, both sides haven't batted yet. Bowls to Hammond, and this time they're going to try and get for 2, but it's a bit too well hit, just a single. Ends the over, 9 overs gone, 77, Sunset Strip for no wicket. 39 to Hammond, 34 to Klinger.
Let's have a look at Twitter. Greg Hill down there in Honiton. Thanks for the commentary. Watching on the live stream, Somerset's bowling as left. Right, Greg.
Well, it probably has, actually.
Although I think I would exempt Max Waller and Roll off van der Merwe from any criticism, because I think they bowled well. Waller's going to bowl the 10th over. It's bowling to the left-handed Miles Hammond. He's in bowls. This is short and hits straight to Tom Aadil at short extra cover by Hammond. So it's another dot.
Michael Klein has tweeted, I'll read it out in a minute.
Yes. Max Waller bowls. That's up in the air and will go for. They'll come back for the second run as Lammonby moves around to his right to do the fielding again. Well placed by Miles Hammond. He's picking his spot on the
doing very well
offside in the deep. 79 without loss. We're in the 10th over. Waller's bowling to Hammond, takes pace off. Oh, and that nearly was a catch to Tom Aadil at short extra cover. The throw comes in from Babar Azam, and there's a misfield by the bowler.
Klein had taken his helmet off there and Hammond wanted another single.
Yeah, Max Waller just took his eye off the ball that came in from Babar Azam, and they could probably have stolen an overthrow, but they didn't. 80 without loss in the 10th over. Roloff van der Merwe, who's who's probably the shortest of the Somerset team, is down on the boundary beneath us. This is worked into the onside. The throw will come in.
Bad fielding again.
Dear. That was Tom Lammonby giving away another run. Just over eager again, taking his eye off the ball. And any hint of a fumble in this form of cricket, and the batsman will take advantage. 82 without loss. You can hear the buzz around the ground as Waller bowls to Klinger, who drives, and that will be cut off, and there's a shy at the stumps, but Klinger is home safely. Tom Abel, the fielder, just the single. 83 without loss.
But they can only bowl 8 overs between them, can't they?
They can. Slightly surprised that Somerset didn't include Don Bess, who's been recalled from Yorkshire. This is shorter and cramps Hammond for room, and they're able to take a single, but that's all they can get. Another good over from Max Waller, which went for either 6 or 7.
7, I think. Now, Michael Klinger has tweeted, and as he says, thank you to everyone at Gloucestershire Cricket for the last 7 seasons. It's been an absolute pleasure to play a small part in the club progressing in a positive direction. 3 more games and hopefully finals to come. Forever grateful. Which is a nice little way of saying goodbye.
So he's definitely not coming back.
He's definitely not coming back.
Is he retiring then?
Retiring.
That's it, is it?
Yeah, he retired from cricket in Australia in the winter, their summer, January. And it's going to be right. Well, we're going to have another change. It's Tom Lammonby coming in from the Ashley Down Road end, bowling little. You would say dibbly-dobblers, wouldn't you?
No, he's a bit quicker than that. He's a bit quicker than that. As you can tell by the fact that the wicketkeeper's standing back.
Well, Benny Howard, of course, not in the Gloucestershire side. He's here. He's on his crutches. He's out for the rest of the season, which is a big blow for Gloucestershire's promotion hopes. But
it's been a great week for both counties, hasn't it?
Yes, great win. 2 great wins.
Yeah, both chasing down 4th innings targets on Wednesday afternoon.
Yes, shows it can be done. To Hammond, who's on 43, and that's a terrible shot, actually. Bowling. I don't know what Hammond was trying to do then. He took his hand off the bat and he just sort of splayed it into mid-wicket, but he gets a run nevertheless.
He almost bottom-edged it into his own stumps.
Yeah. Now, Klinger, I think, is going to go through the gears here. We hope so. I love watching Michael Klinger bat as Lammonby comes and bowls to the Gloucestershire captains on 37, and that's pulled away, and it's going to be just a single. The fielder comes in from the backward square leg boundary to field. The fielder on that occasion,
Babar Azam,
yes. Now then, it's a big total. Well, unless anything happens, if anything cataclysmic happens, it's going to be a decent total Gloucestershire going to mount. So we are going to see a lot of runs here today. Hammond is facing Lammonby, and that's pulled away, and that's going to be a great bit of fielding. They're going to come back for 2. It's a super bit of fielding. Who's that man out there? They touch each other's hands. They always have to do, apparently. It's a law. And 2 runs taken.
Oh, it wasn't. That is Babar Azam who made that stop. The other fielder was Eddie Byram, who we haven't mentioned so far. He's had very little to do.
Bowls to Hammond, and that's thwacked to mid-on.
Max Waller.
Yeah, Max Waller does the field. That's a good throw as well. That's how to do it. Just a single. 89 without loss.
Picking up the 1s and the 2s at the moment, these 2 batsmen.
Well, that's
been a boundary for some time.
Well, I would suggest they'll happen. They'll happen. Klinger on 38, just 2 shy of his career best this season in the T20. And we wanted to get a 50 by Jove we do as he bowls. And that's another single for Klinger. Out on the cover boundary, the fielder throws it in. You can hear the hubbub around the county ground. It's absolutely packed to the gunwales.
You don't get the roar.
Yeah.
Get these I guess when somebody hits a 6. We haven't had a 6 yet.
We haven't had a 6. No, Craig Overton's parried one.
This could be the moment.
Yes, it could be. Well, that's a good bit of fielding. It's a lovely bit of fielding on the bounce down there.
That's Babar Azam again.
Yeah, well played him. It was difficult because the ball was bouncing very high and he took it in one stride and threw it in. End of the 11th over, 91. Klinger says a message to the 12th man came out, and Klinger obviously was going to give a message about who's going to come in next. And I would imagine he'll want someone like Ryan Higgins or Jack Taylor to come in next, or James Bracey.
Well, James Bracey could hit. Pardon? James Bracey could hit a long ball.
James Bracey can in.
Next, well, Ian Cobain can as well.
Well, Cobain will probably come in next anyway, here's old Jerome Taylor. Now, his first over was a bit of a disaster.
He went for 13.
Yes, he's coming.
Waller's gone for 16 in 3. Taylor 13 in 1. Craig Overton 20 in 2. Grunewald 15 in 2. Van der Merwe 18 in 2. And Lammonby 7 in 1. So Max Waller, the most economical, as so often.
Klinger still giving a message to the bench.
Just having some field changes. Lammonby coming up into the fielding circle at mid-off. We've got a long on, a deep straight mid-wicket and cow corner, deep backward square leg. Taylor's bowling to
Well, he looks in fabulous touch, Sam Hain. Worcestershire Rapids in the field. Quite brilliant.
Hurry back here, Sibley. Does well.
once again access that wide mid-off. Region. Nothing wrong with the ball.
And on me zebra, whether it's pelting.
Right in front of the Hollies. Don't make much of it.
Well, Sibley has given up on the idea of staying at home. Charged Pat Brown. Brown saw him coming, but the ball just sat up and Sibley dispatched it. It's the way to get yourself motoring.
Comfortable to mid-wicket. Well, speaking of 25 years, 25 years your junior. Pat Brown, celebrating his birthday today as well. Hope I've not made you feel old there, but he's just turned 21. Over 4 gone, 29 without loss.
Now the big floating ease in the sky here at Edgbaston. Extraordinary configuration. beautiful evening here in Birmingham. From Sibley and Haynes, and Hose waiting in the wings. Parnell with a switch to the Birmingham end.
It's been tidy rather than blistering in the Birmingham Bears.
Well, strike rate for Hayne this season is 118. Sibley a little bit better. So at 130. So perhaps not the most explosive pairing in the competition. I think at the moment they've dug out to be happy with the start that they've been given. Saw last night, didn't we? Sussex chasing 168, what looked like a decent enough surface. Lost 3 wickets in the power play and it killed them. Never really recovered despite a charge from David Visa. Chris Jordan ended up 10 runs.
Well, the protection, as you can understand, with a short leg side boundary, deep backward square, almost just pick him out in front of the right hand side, and deep mid wicket, straight cow. Now protection is there. Slid that one through, the previous one through 88, and now he's just changed it up. Or changed it down to 75. Neatly done, very neatly done.
Parnell. Hayne has just shoveled it round the corner, really. And up inside the circle. Relatively short down here in the corners down at fine leg 2. Looks like there's runs in this pitch, doesn't it? Starting to calculate now as to what a defendable score might be. Starting to think we'll see if and when change of pace comes in, Moeen Ali, as to what looks like a good score. I feel as though there may be about there. By and large, with the seam up stuff, it's looked like a belter.
It's interesting, it's the amount of spin that the Birmingham Bears have, and when you've got a short leg side boundary to one, he's going to have to be canny when it comes Birmingham's time to field, or Captain Jeetan Patel, but that's for later on.
I think we'll see if and when change of pace comes in, Moeen Ali, as to what looks like a good score. I feel as though there may be a little bit of bite, a little bit of purchase grip out there, but by and large, with the seam up stuff, it's looked like a belter.
It's interesting, it's the amount of spin that Birmingham Bears have, and when you've got a short leg side boundary to one, he's going to have to be canny when it comes Birmingham's time to field, or Captain Jeetan Patel, but that's for later on. Worcestershire searching to break this partnership. Well fielded. Darryl Mitchell, 5 overs gone. Very tidy from the Birmingham Bears, 36 without loss.
I run Fox News. I will do anything to protect my people. I'm a multifaceted man. This is the fight of our lives. Avengers! Assemble.
Marvel Studios' Avengers Endgame. Available now in Sky Store.
Well, no wickets down, but actually the run rate is in check at the moment. One more over in the power play. Looks a very good pitch, this, Mark Butcher.
Always are here, aren't they? Some of the best in the country.
Ed Barnard. Now keeper up to the stumps. Deep mid-wicket and long on in play. Sam Hain likes to bring it onto the leg side, as does Sibley. I reckon they've worked it out with that field.
The unassuming Ed Barnard. Always seems to turn it on whenever the pod is in town. Really impressive young cricketer, brilliant in the field. Picks up handy wickets with his medium pace. And with the bat, seemingly nothing he can't do.
He'll try to give himself a little bit of room to open up the offside. This field, Barnard should just be everything at the stumps, even leg stump. Try and work out what your options are as a batsman. Fine leg is up, as is square leg. Take a risk, maybe a little paddle sweep.
I reckon Hain has just had a little look over his shoulder there, and that's exactly where he's looking. I'd see him get down on that back knee and try and flip one over there.
Oh, works across into the leg side again. I reckon they'd be pretty happy with this so far, or the pair, over the Rapids even. I think the pairs and the Bears. Smeared into the leg side, just a single. Barnard doing it well so far. The plan is working. Big couple of balls.
Yeah, really look to target the short side. Hain, when he's been batting at the pavilion end, has come leg side of it and hit it towards the longer side of the ground to extra cover. Sibley is looking to try and take on the long side towards the Holly stand on the leg side.
Chance, maybe outside the line. Someone's got to go for the ball.
Ben Cox has sprinted out to the edge of the circle at extra cover and saved 2. Saw that paddle sweep coming a mile off. I think Ed Barnard did too.
Ben Cox does well. Oh, needs to get back. Oh, I reckon he's done. That is excellent work.
Well, if he had to catch his breath, he didn't have long. Ben Cox's presence of mind, his mental and physical dexterity has pulled off a brilliant, what are we going to call it? Is he attempting a run? He's overbalanced. It's going to be a run out, I think, but it's great work from the Worcestershire keeper. I think he just had enough of the ball in his grasp when he made contact with the stumps. Yeah, he's got him. Sibley's gone.
Yeah, spot on. It just came out just after he'd broken the bows. Another a strange dismissal in the blast. We saw that with Laurie Evans a few weeks ago. Well, now it's Dom Sibley, 12 from 14, never found the flow, 41 for 1.
Yep, thumbs up from Ben Cox. Goes down as a stumping next to his name. Here's what's happened in the opening 6 overs. Sam Hain peeling off a couple of cracking strokes, one off the front foot, next off the back. He was more than happy to charge Dylan Pennington once, twice. Sibley then got in on the act, finding the longest part of the ground for the first 6 of the evening. Ed Barnard started off brilliantly. And Ben Cox put the icing on the cake. It's been a tidy start for the Rapids in the power play.
Here we go now, a bit of Daryl Mitchell. A few phantoms coming at you now, no pace whatsoever. Got a short boundary to the leg side. Even further across from, if you remember, when England played against India here in the World Cup, Kohli wasn't happy with the size of the leg side boundary. This is even shorter.
I don't recall him mentioning that.
Look for no pace whatsoever. Just floats them at you. A real decision as a batsman. Now, are you going to try and take him down? Adam Hose is the new batsman now on strike because of the run out for Dom Sibley, or the stumping from Ben Cox.
He's been pretty impressive in the blast this year. Strike rate over his career of 143, 140.
Home advantage. A big boundary out to that leg side. Simple dot. That was such a simple chance. Wayne Parnell, the culprit.
What was I saying about having time to think? It's the worst thing. This has gone so slowly to Wayne Parnell. Ball stopping, turning, holding in the surface. Top spinning as it goes to him.
Extraordinary.
I was going to say, such a simple chance. I believe he dropped it. Be a long evening in the field now. Oh, big shot out into the leg side. Wall gets enough of it. Hung in the air for a long, long time.
50 up for the Bears. It's done in some style. Hose, as I said, is a big guy. Decided the best way to take on the turning ball, take on Moeen Ali, is to be the aggressor.
More evidence of that spin. Dangerous man to take on that boundary as well. Martin Guptill.
Watch the Bears, didn't we? Go down to Colin Ackermann. Best figures ever in the world in T20 cricket. Off spin, charging them, running past them. Just to see how the Bears go about playing Moeen Ali.
Plenty of encouragement for the spinners already. 8 overs done, 56 for 1. Already plenty of interest on this surface. Good for the seamers, but there's a bit in it for the spinners. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Birmingham's favourite sons, Nick Knight.
A lot of favourite sons here tonight. Just have a look up on the balcony, the committee balcony. There might be a few. They had a big dinner here last night. 25 years of the treble-winning season in '94. You feel for Moeen Ali. Just a bit out of form, and it's just not quite happening for you. A catch like that goes down. All he wants is just to get back in his work and get a few wickets.
Yeah, he's going to be a threat on this surface, though. Plenty of encouragement already. Rips it into the pitch as well. His type of surface. That's excellent running. This field didn't matter. Straight away he knew. Barnard back into the attack. Darryl Mitchell just the 1 over then. Look at the end that Moeen Ali was bowling from is the end you want Darryl Mitchell. Might just try and swap the two of them. Moeen Ali and himself, just Darryl Mitchell, just keep chopping and changing. Win. It is a fast outfield. Big boundary, that doesn't matter at all when you time it like that. That is a good arm. Pat Brown, that is a really good arm. Too good at that stage.
It's his runs. Sam, I suppose the question for him moving forward is no one will necessarily question the runs he gets, it's just how quick he gets them. 39 or 30. If he's really to push on and play international cricket, you think he might just be looking at his strike rate more than the runs he scores.
I suppose the important thing really is what Hose does at the other end. Sam Hain can just tick along, actually he can up the ante. Then you can have that partnership working. The question is Hain always going to be the one who plays within himself?
You'd say he's got to show a bit of flexibility in his game, hasn't he? And always rely on the other guy at the other end, so you can play the same role. Good over 10 from it, 66 for 1. just the one wicket so far. Pennington, we saw him in under-19 cricket a couple of years ago, 2 overs, none for 14, and Wayne Parnell, 2 overs, none for 13. In a way, they'd be pretty happy with them. Moeen Ali hadn't lost control in the power play, hasn't lost control as yet. 9 overs gone, 66 for 1. Pretty happy. Excellent bowling. Saw him coming, just dragged it down a little bit. Adam Hose's strong areas are sort of long on, deep mid-wicket, so he'll fancy the off-spinner if he can get to the length. That's why Moeen Ali's just happy to drag it down. And he knows that Hose is coming for him. Slightly different with Hayne. Hayne's just saying, right, off you go. Hose, you're the man to be aggressive. You're the one to try and take Moeen Ali down. A big boundary to the leg side on a turning pitch. Yeah, and you need a very good fielder at long on. Long on is a key position here for Hose. Dragged down again. Dragged down too far this time. Just sat back and waited for it. Yeah, absolutely. Moeen Ali just thinking he's going to come at me, but he just hung back. Big shot. Sounded sweet out of the middle of that bat. That has gone a long, long way. Well, that's his strength. What a shot. And that's why Moeen Ali dragged the last one down, because he's wary of this. He knows that's where he's looking to belt him out of the park, and he does it on this occasion. It's great batting because the ball before he hung back and waited. Now then, Moeen, what have you got? Oh, styles it out as well. Checks the follow through. Very good from Hose. Much better over as well for the Bears. Halfway in this innings, 80 for 1. Well, there's lofty blows, and there's that. 95 metres worth. There's a few of our old mates up in the committee box thinking, I could never hit it that far. How do they do that? They're built strong, aren't they? Now, Pat Brown returns just the one over, conceded 8. Squeeze that through as well. Chase on, out in the deep. Just evading them. Martin Gupton putting the body on the line, but just not big enough. And in leg work as well from Martin Gupton. He's long on to long on. That was my point earlier in the last over. Get your best fielder at long on. Quite get there this time, but he'll be in the game. There'll be a couple on. Just looked as though contending, but as you say, I'm pleased for Pat Brown this year because we did the first game of the Blast and he was playing it. Obviously they were champions, and one of the things you guys were discussing was how he would go in his second year, really making an impression. Was such a big impression in his first. Well, leading wicket taker, he's done his team proud again. Batsman will be a bit more aware of his skills and what he does.
Well, you're right. Another former teammate of ours, now Worcestershire bowling coach Alan Richardson, spoke to him about Pat Brown a lot. Obviously, the blistering start he made last year, early on wickets. But he actually said he doesn't have a huge amount of weapons. There's not 6 or 7 slower balls. He's just got his knuckleball, his normal pace delivery, but it's when he uses them and also having to play them. That's the other thing. He executes it so well. Disguises it so well as well. Very difficult to get hold of.
Looks so young, Dexter.
He looks 12.
I know, I'm just looking at the scorecard here to check how old he is. He's 21. He's about 15. It's his birthday today, I understand, so he just turned 21. Butch's birthday today, isn't it? I didn't ask how old he is, Butch, but he's a little bit younger than me, so he can't be quite 50. Late 40s, I suppose.
He needs one good boundary to get to his half century. On the floor. I don't know if Pat Brown's been able to raise his birthday. Well, maybe not really quiet, yeah. 3 or 4 years target. The strike. Comes along the chase again, and the same result. He's done some sliding as Martin Guptill. He's not been able to stop any of them, despite his best efforts. Arron's got 92 for 1. He's also raised up 50 partnership and just 30 points.
He might make this, and he's got to keep running now, because long on to Martin Guptill up until now. Might be that they have a change. I mean, Ali might come out of the attack.
Got some thinking to do now, because Rowan Ali.
You played many of these rivalry games, big games, Worcester, Ricks.
Yeah. Well, they're playing Benson Edges games. I remember getting a gold award in one. I loved it. Had to face 7 overs at Andy people. That was fun. I didn't get it just for that.
You didn't think what would Rowan? Good Rowan just put these such a long boundary. Pat Brown had so much work to do. It was beautifully timed, and he knew straight away that it was 2.
That's what I expected there. Fought very well, striking the big blows. Keeping the dot balls to a minimum, ticking over. Good warning. Now is it going to go to hand? It is, and safely pouched. The end of Sam Hain, falling just short of a half century. The breakthrough that the Rapids desperately needed. Dylan Pennington has provided it.
Yeah, he's frustrated. You can see that as he walks off. But you've got to give a lot of credit to the bowler. Just saw it coming, and he just dragged it down. And in the end, he couldn't quite get the middle of the bat. There's the frustration. He played so well again tonight, Sam Hain. It's not the real innings of substance that he was hoping for. Just 46 from 37. Birmingham, though, still well placed. 94 for 2.
Nottinghamshire's first one, he did all right. 29 not out, the strike rate of 138. Wolverhampton boy, Black Country lad. That's one. It's picked out. Ben Barnard is a wonderful outfielder. Go back to that Nottinghamshire game. Leicestershire won. Took a couple of stunning catches. He's an excellent all-round cricketer, is Ed Barnard. Now welcome to the game, that man. Securely off the mark. Another big boy, 6 from 3. And a decent forward pack, Birmingham Bears. That's a really good over from Dylan Pennington, picking up the wicket of Sam Hain and just conceding 5. 12 overs gone, 97 for 2. Seeing another young bowler. Seen him quite a bit on Sky over the last couple of years. See him develop Henry Brooks. A genuine pace. The Birmingham Bears. Great to see so much young and fast bowling stuff around the country. Here's Barnard. Shouts of catch. Only a couple of yards. Just felt he was in the game, Darryl Mitchell, but he tantalised him. All they can do is watch it over the run.
It's cruel, isn't it, as a fielder? One of the biggest rolls of the night. And they just got it over. He must have thought there that he hadn't quite got enough of it. Harold Mitchell just knew there that he was no chance, really.
It's always great that first ball. He's made pressure over the batting side, seeing it just go for 6, granted, but gives yourself a free rest of the over, doesn't it?
He was 7 on it, thanks. It's enough.
Well, 60 yards over, or 30 yards over, isn't it? Played so well, I was 42. Not as many balls. 4s, 3 6s. Oh, thanks, lads. What Gunson's going to do is see that into Rosette.
Well, that's his fault, whether it's mowing early morning or Ed Barnard. That's where he shapes to hit. Long on, wide, long on. Lovely swing of the bat. I hope he's okay. I just might not have seen that very well. Oh no, oh no.
So he's okay. Just checked. tried to make a little bit of room for himself. Barnard may have been dispatched for 2 maximums. But he finally picks up the wicket.
This time trying to go offside, open the face. It's a good catch in the end from Owen Ali. Went a little quicker than he might have thought. Frustration again. Firstly, Sam Hain, and now Adam Hose. They're just picking up crucial wickets at a good time. So another falling just shy of a half century, but it's another very good innings. 48 from 23, 111 for 3.
Leicestershire and Sussex now here at Edgbaston.
And he's in search for wickets now. His length, his bowling's a lot fuller, attacking the stumps now. Nose has got cover on the leg side. It's a big boundary leg side for the right-hander.
One person who's seen that. We've got a three-hit spin trio of Birmingham Bears. Gene Patel, Chris Green, Thompson. Just need a small partnership. 2 or 3 overs worth.
Such a big this and other results go their way, they'll finish the evening in 4th, with a chance of qualifying for the quarter-final. So their first priority is to win this one, and they know it's a really good surface here up against the champions.
Gone reverse, gone well. Good end to the open, the Birmingham Bears, 120. So what's going on elsewhere across the country? Leicestershire, 161 for 8. The East Midlands derby against Nottinghamshire in Grace Road. Yeah, well, Durham going nicely as well. Yorkshire struggled this year. 39 more to win now, and elsewhere in the Northern Group. Derbyshire against Northamptonshire, Rob Gears, 26 not out, trying to lead a little recovery for Northampton, 87.4. As for the South Group, again down South West Gloucestershire, decent total at Bristol, 189.4, Mike Klinger, 74. Mitchell turns to the attack. Hybrid. Not quite seen, not quite spin. It's a mix of the two. That's how he describes it. The one game that we didn't get to. It's down at Canterbury. Surrey 89 for 4. He struggled this season as well. That's against the Canterbury Lions. So I'm starting to bubble up nicely towards the business end of this Vitality Blast.
Sadly, no results because of rain. It's just kept both groups pretty tight.
Charging down and sent back. This is where Worcestershire now starting to just strangle Birmingham Bears. No pace to work with. That's what happens.
It's difficult. So you're trying to make all the work yourself. You've got no pace to work. You can't just deflect it, nudge it, nurdle it. You've got to pick a spot really out where your favoured part of the ground is, where your strength is. Try and manoeuvre the ball to that position.
Couple on offer here. Gavin won't mind that. Just conceding 4 from that last over. So with 5 to go, Birmingham Bears 124 for 4. High-rises in the last 5 overs or so for the Birmingham Bears. 24 for 4. If you count all 10 and over for the last 5, that'll give the Bears 174. Say that because you've been out there accusing that's the number, the magic number that they reckon in the IPL, that sort of average in the last 5 is 10 and over. I'll tell you what, if the Bears managed to get 170 on this surface, given the makeup of their team, Chris Green, Jean Patel, spin options galore, Alex Thompson. You'd think that 170 odd would take some getting because the ball was turned sharply. Yeah, as we've seen an absolute seed from Moen Ali, the pitch leg stump hit off. One thing you would say though, it's a decent pitch for batting against the seams. Then there's something in it for the spinners. There's one very short boundary, so I reckon around 170.
it's down to how well you bowl, obviously. Well, 70 is a very good game at stop.
Yeah, so the crowd here at Edgeworthstown may well have something to say in terms of ramping up the pressure on the Worcestershire Rapids in the second half, because they are rowdy. What time is it now? It's gone past 8, and the juice is beginning to kick in. Fiercely struck, and for
Watch Pennington here, he does well to get out of the way of this. This is smashed straight back at him. Does very well. Who do we see on this ground? A couple of years ago, Fletcher. And Sam Payne hit one straight back at him, hit him straight on the skull.
length again from Pennington, and the result is the same. It's a really good pickup for Lamb, but it's not good bowling for Dylan Pennington.
This is an excellent shot. Said it absolutely right. Such a good pickup. Wasn't that short, but it just sat up and he just rocked onto the back foot.
This time, decent finish, but that's another good over for the Bears. 136 for 4.
Absolutely right on the shin. I reckon he actually stuck his foot out. He was trying to get a foot on it to try and stop it going past him. It just kicked a little bit. It's got him right on the shin bone. Isn't this one that you just got to keep on going with? So as soon as you stop, it's going to hurt even more. As soon as you get into the dressing room, that's going to really sting.
To that effect.
Manny gave him the hand. Just waved him off, didn't say anything, just gave him the hand.
It's a wild one. You see Pat Brown rattle at the deck. He's clearly struggling from that blow to the shin. That'll burn him.
very slow crowd that time. 65, just under 66 miles per hour, still limping away. That blow the snake. Sorry, shouldn't laugh. But he did put his foot out. Soldiering on with 3 balls left. The 17th. Knuckleball again, and it's nailed. That is out of here. And been put down in the crowd as well. All of a sudden, that is right in the slot. It's picked as well, seen easily. He's got the making of him at the moment. Short boundary as well. Back it across. Good base. Ball disappears. Pace on that time. Burgess is setting himself almost exclusively for that knuckleball. Middle of the slot, middle of the bat, middle of the stand. Hustle back for 2. That's a brilliant over. There's motoring. 51 for 4. Yeah, for the Smile Alley as well. To keep that round going. Still got green to come. We're getting up to what is a decent score on this service. 170 is the average score. I reckon they're going to be just about there, maybe a few more. Tinkering with the field, fine leg up, deep square leg, deep mid wicket, long on, mid off. Fine alley himself is in the ring. In par now. Looks like he might try and hold it into the surface. He's got a lot of room out on this offside. Caught him. Go middle of the pitch. Try and cramp the 2 right-handers up, force them to hit it towards the leg side where the 3 boundary riders are. They've got a problem here. The Rapids, 174 was 10 and over for the last 5. Well, they've got themselves in a position to obliterate that.